Hey there, you, me, and DC fans, and welcome if you're new. I am the stepson of Krypton,
I'm Mantis.
and today we continue down the rabbit hole that is the Absolute Universe. This time it is with Wonder Woman issue number 6. Now, we were planning to bring issues 6 and 7 of all of the Batmans, the Superman, and the Wonder Woman all as a one video to cover both issues 6 and 7. However, it has not worked out thus far, so we are going to go ahead and break it up into smaller, more digestible videos for you. So we're going to get through issue 6 here. It's definitely a very, very interesting issue, completely different than everything else we've been dealing with thus far in the Absolute Universe. Mantis, are you ready to get on into the issue?
I am ready.
All right, let's go. All right, guys. So, Absolute Wonder Woman issue 6 is a two-part issue. The Lady or the Tiger. Now, to be fair, that won't make any sense in this issue. It really only applies to the next issue. But the Lady or the Tiger.
I was gonna say there was no tiger in this issue, so
we don't get there. What we do get is we start out. We are in the throne room of Hades, right, in the underworld, present day. Finally, at least as far as we know, because it just says now, right?
yeah.
And we see basically Hades is telling her, like, "Hey, take off that helmet. I want to see the pretty face." Right. And I will say we were just discussing this during the break. Is that the artwork here with her and the images there is amazing. It's beautiful. But then he looks like I drew it. So a little disappointing there. But, and Hades says, and he tells her, he's like, hey, you can never leave the underworld. Right. And then, of course, Diana tells him, I've already left the underworld. And, of course, he's wondering how that actually occurred. However, he's a little bit bigger of a concern is why his little blue minion there brought her to him so armed.
Yeah, still armored. It reminds me. It's so funny. It reminds me of Lord of the Rings when they go see King Theoden, and Gandalf's like, "You wouldn't part an old man from his walking stick, now would you?" And the guy's like, okay, it's fine.
Oh. You would not part an old man from his walking stick.
And he goes in there. Obviously, everyone finds out that's his damn weapon. Like, wizards have staffs. It's not a walking stick. That's where he shoots his stuff from, right? So
that sounded really bad, but okay.
Yeah.
That is where he shoots his stuff from.
I mean, I'm sure Gandalf gets off every once in a while. Anyway.
That's why he's Gandalf the White.
Yeah.
So, Hades tells her, like, hey, everything on her is a weapon for her, right? Like, everything she can use as a weapon. So she strips down and, literally she asks if she can keep her boots on. But so she strips all the way down. And then, I think one thing I thought was funny in this entire comic was that she's standing there, all of her armor's off. Or she got the Cloud Buster sword just laying there. And we see she's got the lassos out there, but he says to her, and he says that enchanted pouch. He's like, he said the magic coming off that has cartoonish stink lines, which I thought was ironic that we're saying that it's a comic book, and he's saying I see cartoonish lines because he definitely looks very cartoonish. But I thought it was interesting. We see 3 different glowing lassos. We got a green, we got a blue, and we have a red. I will say, at least I think that one's green. The color to me looks green. It may be a little yellowish, but it looks green. Green. That's what I thought. We got Jedi colors. Okay.
It's green.
So Hades asks his minion to bring him the red lasso, which Diana tells him is like, that you don't really want to do.
That you don't want to do.
And he asks where this Nemesis lasso came from. Okay. Then we get some backstory. We're going to go back a little bit of where these came. We see that Diana had been given tasks long ago from her mom to do these particular feats and these small errands for her, right? One of which was going and it just says before. We get no time. I mean, you know,
Time's relative in this, like
I
very
think
relative.
it's funny that in the Absolute Superman, they're literally, day 49,901, and here we just get before.
Yeah.
So
well,
we get
again, I think it's because they're gods, demigods, right? Like
they
time
live
to them doesn't. It's not a thing, right? Like it
right.
doesn't really matter.
So it happened before, right? So
Yeah.
we go before. We are at Mount Prometheus, right? And it says on the borders between myth and reality. Right, we see Diana and she's climbing up this mountain, and when she obviously gets closer towards the top of it, we see the Titan Prometheus chained to this mountain. So it is very aptly named, right? So there's a little bit of discussion and dialogue. I mean, obviously, I gotta imagine, you being a child of the gods, she's Zeus's child basically. But you see a Titan, you see Zeus, the Prometheus isn't Zeus's father, but the Titans are, the iteration before Zeus and those gods. You have the Titans.
Yeah, and they fought, right? Like there was and of course this is all Greek mythology, but there was a war between Olympus and the Titans, of course, which the Olympians won and then subjugated the Titans and, basically banished them to roam I forget, it's not Earth, but it's like this realm of subjugation. You guys should know this if you played God of War.
Played God of War, watched the movie Immortals is good. They do
Yeah.
the Titans a little bit differently. God of War is definitely a great place for it. But, however, she frees
Yes.
Prometheus
with her blood because she's of the lineage of Zeus, like you mentioned.
Yeah, so she's got her blood on her axe. Boom, cuts his chains. They share a little bit of dialogue there, just kind of talking. He thanks her. She's obviously, we see she has the ability to talk to some of the animals. She's talking to the bird, have him deliver a message, and she basically says, "Hey, I didn't do this,
for free."
Yeah, well, out of the goodness of her heart. There was a selfish motive behind it, right? She needs a vial of his blood. So she's there asking, and he basically says, hey, take my blood. And you see her axe come down, golden, boom, huge chop, blood everywhere. And then we kind of zoom out, and it's just the tip of his finger. It's just a little. That's just a little prick.
Just a little prick.
Of his finger and all that, which I loved. I thought that was great the way they did that, because it looks like she just lopped off an arm or something of a Titan, and nope, she just nicked the tip of his finger and all this. So she gets the vial of blood, but then he also basically he's going to grant her another gift, right? So for what she's done in the fight that she's going to have to deal with ahead. We see, and it's not the first time we've seen him in the Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman yet, but we see where she got Pegasus, her dead bone horse that can fly.
Yes.
So she gets Pegasus, right? And then she flies off, and we flash back to Hades and the throne room they're in. And he's like, okay, cool story, bro, but I feel like there's something else with this lasso. And she explains, yes, there is another part to it, is that the lasso is made up of, she killed a basilisk, right? The last basilisk.
Yeah.
Right?
She needed something from El Basilisco.
El Basilisco, right?
Yeah.
So then we don't stay in the present for very long until we go back to before, where she enters the lair of the basilisk. Now, one of the things with the basilisk is it's sight, it's vision, right? And to ward off the effects of this thing looking at her and all this, she uses a potion to blind herself, right? So she's going in straight Helen Keller style, right? Like, I'm going to go in and fight this thing. She does. She kills the basilisk. Okay. So there's a bit of a battle there, cuts the damn thing's head off, all that. And then we kind of go back to the throne room again. And, again, he's like, cool story, bro. But he's impressed by it, but he's kind of like, she's been a little sassy this whole time when she's talking to him, right? She's kind of got a little bit of an attitude there. And, all of a sudden we see this body get lowered down in these blue chains, and it's her mother, it's Cersei,
Mm-hmm. It's like
And
enough
that's
of that
where we end.
smart ass remarks now, huh?
Right? Yeah, that shut her up real quick.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of like where we left it. Again, not a lot happened in this issue. And then there is did you read the Lil Diana?
No, I didn't. I didn't read that.
You did? I didn't
No.
either at first year. I'll end up reading it, but like for what we're doing and going through these, I was like, yeah, it wasn't as important. That's it on issue 6. Not a lot happened. I mean, it literally took place within the throne room, and they had a 2-minute conversation. We just got a lot of backlog of how she got one lasso. We don't even know about the other 2 yet. And her, we got information on her Buster Sword. And to be fair, actually, in one of the previous issues, we do get a little more information on one of the other lassos as well, too. So maybe we'll go a couple more issues and we'll get the final lasso. That is it on Absolute Wonder Woman number 6. Part 2 is going to be coming up in number 7. Of the Absolutes, as we've done now, like I said, all of the main 3, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, have issue 7 out currently at time of recording. The Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and Flash are all at the second issues of each of those runs, which we have videos coming out on those as well, too. It'll be a 3-parter. We're breaking these up into 2 completely separate. That one will just be a weird 3-parter. Sorry, just happened. It turned out to be a very, very long video. So, I don't know. It didn't grip me as well on this issue of Wonder Woman, where I feel like all the other ones, and we just did the Batman 6 and 7, I feel like they're getting better as they go. This one kind of like we're at kind of a standstill. Like I was expecting it to pick up a little more, and it's kind of like just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's your thoughts on it.
I mean, it's okay. It's meh. So. I did like, again, I like the Titan being brought into that and some of the backstory there. The Basilisk was very fast, obviously, not a major part. I think the most interesting part of this was their dialogue. Again, she came in all cocky, and the very first picture, you see of Hades there, he's just kind of slunched over in his chair like this, like talking to her. He doesn't even really care. And again, at first when you're reading that, you kind of like, why is he just like, he's got this demigod telling her she can't leave. He doesn't really think too much of her. Again, he didn't really notice about the pouch. And that's why he's very interested when he saw the lassos and what they could be. But his whole demeanor in this wasn't demonstrative.
Your big boy pants and your snack. I can say big loud things. I can be demonstrative. Stop. We don't do this.
He was more of like, I don't really care, and it's because the whole time he had her mom strung up in chains, so he knew he had his ace up his sleeve. He could kind of just let her do whatever. It didn't really matter. Even with the weapons, like, okay, he told her to disarm, right? But he didn't really care too much about it because he knew that he had her mom under wraps. So all of this didn't matter at all. All of that stuff. So I thought that was probably the most interesting part of it. It did, find out where the Pegasus came from was cool. Rebirth. I think if I remember right, Zeus killed the Pegasus, and then obviously Prometheus was able to bring it back with some of his blood, which you find out she did get that as well. We're going to find out hopefully what she used that for, along with the Basilisk. I'm assuming both of those things, because they were brought up in this issue, doing with the Nemesis lasso, had something to do with how her mom and her made that. So
I saw your luggage. Then when I noticed the airline ticket, I put 2 and 2 together.
But we'll find out hopefully in this next issue 7.
Yes, because you learn that her mom, obviously it's Cersei. She's a very, very powerful sorceress in the normal universe. Now they're just in hell. Just change the location, right? They're on the bad part of town.
They started out in hell in the very beginning of this series, if everyone remembers that.
Well, so the weird thing is, and this is going to come into play as we get into issue 7 here. So they start out in hell. She then was surface dwelling, and she fights the big Tetracide, whatever that big fucking thing is, and all that stuff. And now we're back in hell, right? So you're like, well, what is going on? Why are we bouncing back and forth? However, we're going to get into that a little more in depth in issue 7 here. So that is going to do it for us for issue 6, guys. If you have made it with us this far, we definitely thank you for that. Consider giving the video a like, we don't ask much. We don't have Patreon. We're not asking you. He's showing you where. Sorry, we're not asking for money and pay for content. We do all this for free for you guys because we love the content. We hope you do as well. We hope you find these videos informative as well as a little entertaining. Sometimes we are a little off the rails. Just happens. It's just.
But like we've reined it in quite a bit from our.
We have, and it's difficult, man. It's very, very difficult, which is why some of our videos go 50 and 60 minutes. And I have to cut them down because I'm like, this is crazy. But it's because we enjoy it. Well, I mean, we could probably do 2 and 3 hour videos and never even noticed until we got hungry that we were going that long. Yeah. So, let us know though down in the comments. How do you like that? Do you like these short, quick little 1 episode, 1 issue type videos? Would you like to see us do more of a compilation of, hey, do multiple issues at one time so you get a little bit more of the story? How are you guys feeling on it? Because we're just kind of trying this out. We, as we kind of started to get back into All In Comics, where we were getting all of these new, just started series, we definitely wanted to bring that more to the channel. And there's also not a lot of news going on. Like if I pull up emails on news right now, it's the same things that have been said the last 3 weeks. They're like, oh, breaking news. This thing that happened 4 weeks ago. So it's perfect time to get on into the comics. So
breaking news: Mr. Terrific sends Superman.
Dude, I saw that email like a week ago, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So it's a perfect time to get on into the comics, guys. But we hope you're enjoying these, liking, subscribing, clicking your little bell notifications, and letting us know how you feel about it. How are you feeling? What is your favorite in the Absolute Universe? Mantis, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much same thing. Again, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate all the comments and everything. But more importantly, let us know if there is any other series that we should be doing. If you guys want to see, it could. I dare say, I have a few Marvel stuff. I don't mind getting into some of the main Marvel stuff. But again, this is a DC channel, so. Yeah, we'll try to accommodate, but I know Cal has approval of anything in the All In universe, so let us know what we should do next.
Yes. All right, guys. That is going to wrap it for us here on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, and we're getting ready to record issue 7. We'll see you then. Later. I said that you're holding up issue 6.
I know. I switched it real fast. I was like, no, I got that one.